Aries, welcome to your general overview. I hope you're well. I hope you are fabulous. The general overview is exactly that. It is an energetic temperature, if you will, of the collectives and what's going on a deeper level. Sometimes it's core stuff that's with us right here, right now. And for others of us, it's an energetic look about something that's been with us for a long time and we're still working through it. I never know. So I'm going to say things like past, present, future, but the basic rules apply. Take what resonates, leave what does not. Reverse energies as it applies if someone else pops up on the board, and that's a likely occurrence. It happens quite a bit. But yeah, that's it really. Let's see what's going on for you. Show me Aries, please. Show me Aries. Show me Aries. Show me Aries. And yes, of course, before I forget, just because it says Aries in the title doesn't mean it's for you, right? Check your other placements so I'll catch you on the next one. Sometimes stuff really strongly resonates with us, and some not so ever, whatsoever. Most of us are somewhere in the middle, but just in case, that's all right. If it doesn't resonate, just don't force it to fit, yeah? What's going on, please? Show me what I need to see, please, for the Aries Collective. Show me Aries. Show me Aries, please. I'm very excited. Putting new plans into place for different reading types and variations for the channel. Fun stuff coming up. I'll announce it on the mid-month in July. What's going on, please? Very excited to get some fresh energy into the channel. Show me Aries, please. What is going on? You would not believe the logbooks I have. Ideas, infusions, concepts. It was time to go back in there and start making some decisions. The King of Swords, the Magician, Knight. Oh my, oh honey, it's like I know what I want. Thank you. Order up, universe. Wow. Hey, ding, ding, ding. I mean, we're not doing intimate tarot, but okay, that looks fun. King of Swords, the Magician, the Knight of Wands. I know what I want, and I want it now. Talk about knowing what you want, honey. I was having that little talk with Sag. You know, you hear tarot readers say it all the time. You need to know what you want. You have to make up your mind on the subject, and only in that energy can you act in accordance to it, and then the universe will help you along the way. It is equal parts both ready for you and your willingness to accept it. So you were like, oh, I'm willing to accept something. So... Dear universe, bring unto me this. I don't know what that is, but we're going to find out. Woo! Look at that ambition, honey. I love it. All right, the Moon, Eight of Wands, Death. And that's not so fun anymore. Oh, honey. Oh, dang it. It's okay. There's something on the Moon here. We couldn't see it. Not everything was revealed. It's so interesting because your opening energy is so sharp, it's so clear, it's so focused. I know what I want. I'm not pulling it in, and I'm taking the action necessary to make sure it happens. And that's beautiful. It's what I can. It's more than what I can say for most people who kind of vaguely know what they want and vaguely have an idea of how to go about it, but not really. You said you had the energy, the ambition, and the time to do all this, and then it went secretive, confusing. Illusions. I don't know what's going on. Communication is bamboozling. It makes no sense. The emotional expression behind it, because the Moon is still water at the end of the day, Pisces energy. We also have Scorpio here. A lot of water here. Prominent water. Emotional confusion, secrecy, death. Ending, transformation. I don't know. I'll find out. Future, judgment. Six of Swords, lesson about moving forward and opening up. Knight of Cups, okay. Yeah, there is a lesson here about moving forward. Six of Swords, okay. Having to make that judgment call, knowing again in equal parts what's right for you, and are you allowing it to happen. And then I have a Knight of Cups for you, some sort of emotional expression outside of you, okay. It's either coming from you, that's going outside of you, it's coming towards you. We'll see. And in that general overview, Hierophant. Let's see. We got a lot of major players here today, don't we? Pisces, Scorpio, Taurus. You might have any of those strong placements in your chart. You could be connecting to any of them. But again, let's keep in mind it's really not about them or they. It's meant to be about a more stronger look at you. Okay? But yes, if the reversal speaks to you, then the reversal speaks to you. Okay. Let's get cracking. Let's start with that Hierophant, please. What's going on? Show me that Hierophant energy, please. Show me that Hierophant energy, please. Show me that Hierophant energy, please. What's going on? Saying is this future orientation, honey. I can't tell if you're coming or going. Moving forward, does that mean coming back? I don't know. Show me the Hierophant, please. Judgment twice. Ace of Swords, Tower. Oh, could you be kicking it off with enough of that energy? Wow. Oh my, you got 3 majors, and none of them simple. The Hierophant, Judgment, Ace of Swords, the Tower. We had a very strong truth here, an overdue one. Oh boy, kind of kicked our spiritual butt to another plane of existence, didn't it? Whatever it is, it was quite solid and non-negotiable. Very strong truth, and it's like you can't argue with this, you can't lie with this, you can't talk yourself out of this. This is an undisputable truth, and it's quite magnificent, it's quite loud, it's quite large, but it's all happening on the inside. So somebody got their spiritual ass kicked, let's put it that way. I'm assuming it's you, it is your reading, but what that ass kicking looks like, I don't know, that's up to you. The reason why it has that gravitas attached to it is because of the spiritual implications behind it are quite intense. Wow. Honey, I don't know what happened. It's that Ace of Swords, solid truth. Yeah, we can't ignore this. This is the truth of the matter. This is the heart of the situation. As we best understand it, as you best understand it, as the best universe understands it, this is something that's non-negotiable. And it's crossing the Hierophant too, and as we know about, Mr. Fussy Pants over here, is that he tends to be, so that energy's backing up the truth too, so again, more non-negotiable energy here. Judgment, it was overdue. Oh boy, an overdue lesson. And then the Tower, when it came crashing in, oh boy, it came crashing in, and somebody learned something the hard way. And now that's not a challenge, it's not an insult, so don't take it as one. It either is or it isn't. This isn't a judgment call by me. I'm reading the cards, honey. That's what I do. That's the job. So if this frustrates you, or it upsets you, or it causes you a sense of affront, you should probably separate yourself from the message, or perhaps turn it off. This is the stuff why I read tarot at all. The real stuff. There's a lot of realness in there. But if this is not your thing, that's cool. I'm not offended by it. But I don't want you to be offended by it either. Just because I'm doing my job. And if it's not what you want to see, then that's fine. But I'm not going to say that the Aries here I'm looking at didn't learn something the hard way. And it was overdue. And it was, again, heavily non-negotiable. Like, you cannot avoid this. This is the truth, Aries. And you can feel it. It's not you denying it. No. If I wanted to see denial here, I'd see denial here. That's pretty easy. 5 of Swords, 7 of Swords. No. This is the acceptance of an exquisite truth. No matter how sharp, no matter how painful. Nonetheless, it is both acceptance and knowledge almost at the same time. It's like going hand in hand. Here's the truth. You can't deny it, the acceptance of it, and it's like, okay, that's the truth of it. It's the absolute truth. It's a strong one too. Spiritual implications, it's like we cannot deny. I cannot deny this. I cannot deny this. I cannot deny this. Damn, honey. I have no idea. I don't know what the hell you learned at such a magnificent level. But to your credit, you didn't fight it. So, that took a lot of spiritual absorption, I think. So, wow. Jeez. I'm almost envious of that, because with those moments, no matter how long it took to get there, let's say it was building up that way, days, weeks, months, years, likely years. That's just my guess. When something like that washes over you and you feel it, and it sinks you like a weight, and you might have been standing up, but then you hit the deck. That kind of sensation where, oh, fuck, like that. Some of the best things you'll ever learn, even if they're the hardest, you know. Goodness gracious. I don't know if I keep clarifying on you. I don't know if I dare. That was already enough to be getting on with. I could take that another hour easily. That's what she said. I could take that for another hour easily. Spin that out. Backtrack it. Track the storyline. Jesus. But I will congratulate on this. You have a temperance. You have a certain level of temperance in you, the Aries I'm looking at, that said, okay, this is the truth of it. And I respect that. It's that Hierophant energy. It's like, okay, this was coming. I knew this was coming. Or I had this coming. Or I felt this coming. I know it. I know it. I felt it. I knew it. And it's not a spiritual thing. It's... Dang. Scorpio energy in there too. Okay, here we go. Let's get... Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, Reese. I don't know if I can keep going. Oh, goodness. King of Swords, the Magician, the Knight of Wands. That's the definition of that, is I know what I want. Gimme, gimme, gimme. In fact, you know what? Don't worry about it, Chief. I got it. I'm going to take actions to make sure I get it. I mean, that's admirable. It's not enough to want it, right? I say it all the time. I wish people believe me. It's not enough to want it. You have to take the necessary strides, actions, you know? So let's see what you wanted, because you was pulling something in at a magnificent rate. Show me this King of Swords, please. Show me this King of Swords. Like, I made up my mind. I want this. Cool. Show me that King of Swords, please. Strong mind, strong determination. Show me that. What's up? Some of you have a playful side, but with your wit, specifically. I'm getting that. Playful side with the wit. So I'm not saying I'm not saying you're super, you don't have to be super intelligent here. There's something here about the wittiness or the charm. You always know how to say the right thing at the right time. There's a wittiness in here at the Aries I'm looking at. The universe. 4 cups. Man, you're like, I don't want to feel bad anymore. That's it. Sometime in the past, and I don't know when, you felt lethargic, bored, detached. And you're like, I don't want to feel like that anymore. I don't. I want that to be over. I'm done with it. I'm going to start taking action. I don't know what that meant to you, but you were serious about it. At some point in your past, and it's feeling far away, you were bored, tired, restless, you know? Emotionally not replenished, not feeling much. Between the King of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and that 4 cups, that's low-level static energy. Nothing's changing. Nothing's changing. Nothing's stirring the pot. Nothing's happening, right? Energetically, emotionally. You felt not much, but you were going through the motions of everyday life, right? Clocking in, clocking out, clocking in, clocking out. Not much is changing on the landscape. And I got to do something about it. So you were pulling something in from the universe to change up the dynamic. You were pulling something in that's like, I need to feel things. I need to be excited. I need to feel excited. I want to remember what it's like to go out there and slay the dragon and feel passionate, right? There's something in there in you that is just so restless. So restless, so bored by the monotony. Day in, day out. Clock in, clock out. Why do I keep getting that? Just showing up to the same place day in, day out. Not much is changing. It was 4 years ago? I don't know. Anyway, show me the Magician, please. Show me the Magician. Show me the Magician. Show me the Magician. I don't know why it'd be that far back, but For some of it, it's relevant. Show me the Magician, please. Show me that Magician, please. So you're pulling in from the universe. I need excitement. I need play. I need passion. I need something. I need something to hit my emotional scales, right? I need to feel the wind in my hair. I need to feel intrigue. I need to feel excitement. Three of Cups, connecting. It felt good. Oh my ass. Man. It's something to wake you up. It's like you were feeling secure. You were secure in that respect of you're fine. You're fine. But you weren't exactly thrilled. You weren't happy. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you were boring, honey. I'm just saying the circumstances around you felt boring. Everything looked, you knew what to expect every day. Right? There was no emotional spikes. There was no emotional plateauing of positivity. It was just... and from a place of comfort within you, and that Queen of Pentacles, and feeling good about you, you're like, I want to get going. I want to connect more. And so you did. I don't know when you started connecting with somebody, but it felt right. Time had passed between you and somebody, and there's a reconnectivity value here. I can't quite see it, but time had passed, and it felt good to connect with somebody. I don't know who it is, but they literally pop up on your timeline. And time had passed between you and them. So I don't know. It's coming in so very strongly as a past I'm sorry. It's lens through lens. Let me explain that. It's past through the past. So I'm seeing your past being refocused through another lens of the past. This is going to be a complicated one, isn't it? Oh, boy. Oh. So I don't know. He went through a bored period. I don't know what else to call it. And I'm not, again, it's not a judgment. It just is. It was day in, day out monotony without you feeling much in one direction other than feeling down, bored, maybe even low-level depressed a little bit. Yeah. And then here I have an infusion of energy for you where you were reconnecting with somebody who you knew prior to this. As if that weren't complicated enough. Time had passed, and I see you reconnecting with somebody. And it felt good. It felt very good to reconnect with this person. It had been years, I think. Something like that. I don't know. I don't know who that is to you. Three of Cups could mean anything. With the Magician there, you're like, this feels good. And you know what it doesn't feel like? It doesn't feel like it's boring. So it was the opposite of boring. But it came from a good, stable place in you. When you reconnected with this person, it's like, this feels good. This feels really good. You know, it wasn't crazy. You weren't on a roller coaster. It might have turned into one. We'll see. It might have turned into one, but it didn't feel like that. Not at the beginning. It felt easy to connect with this person. And in fact, it was healing. It was very healing. It was someone whom you knew in the past. And they popped back up on your timeline. You two started hanging out. Do you see how I see past through the past? Do you have any idea how complicated my job is sometimes? I'm seeing the past through the past, Aries. Give me some credit. Jesus. Okay. This is hard. This is hard, honey. This is hard. But I love this, though. I live for this stuff. I do. This is the good stuff. This is the good stuff. It makes me smile. This is the good stuff. I like unraveling these things. It's like reading a book. It really is. And I'm a book person anyway, so that works out. Three Cups, Queen of Pentacles, and Temperance. We healed with somebody, and it felt good. It felt really good, and we wanted more of it. It kind of pulled us out of that monotony. So I don't know how long ago it was that you reconnected with this person, but you two had a connectivity point prior to this. So I see you catching up with them sometime in the past. It pulled you out of the lethargy and the boredom. All right, I gotta keep going, or I'll keep spinning this out because I think it's fascinating. When I get, it's like Inception. It's like layers like that. Oh my goodness. Show me this Knight of Wands, and it felt good. So okay, so I see where you were coming from. Not much is going on. You're kind of low-key disappointed, okay, by the lack of emotional quality, the lack of emotional experience, the lack of excitement. And you were en route You were taking care of business, don't get me wrong. I see you being busy, but you weren't thrilled. And then I see you reconnecting with somebody who you used to know prior to that, and it was going well. It felt really good, and it pulled you out of that. It pulled you out of that particular zone. Show that Knight of Wands, please. And let me hold on to that thought. This feels... Oh, the Hermit. They kind of helped soothe that restless energy. Healing. They're attached. They have healing attached. No. No, don't get me wrong. They were in a place of healing when they reconnected with you. There was something in their emotional value that they were... This isn't you. This is them. This is straight up them. 5 of Wands, 10 of Cups, the Hermit, Knight of Wands. They themselves have a fair amount of energy. Okay, like you. You know, this is someone who is naturally passionate. This is someone who is naturally a go-getter. Okay, they tend to have natural enthusiasm, energy. Yours was kind of bored, detached. Theirs was emotionally experiencing upheaval that they were trying to heal and or work through when they reconnected with you. Oh my. Yes. When they reconnected with you, they were having problems. Okay. They're otherwise a healer with the Hermit there. They're someone who's very wise, very experienced, and has a great deal of gravity around them. But when they reconnected with you, they were going through their own emotional turmoil. Okay. They were frustrated by their own 10 of Cups, which seems to be their business. Their emotional harmony, their family, a relationship. It was restless and it was difficult and it was straining and frustrating and arguing when they were trying to work through it with the Hermit. And I'm assuming that you helped them with that in some way when you reconnected with them, and it felt good. It felt good to connect with them at all. And you wanted more of it. They enjoyed connecting with you. It seemed to help lend to their own healing experience, to whatever restlessness they were experiencing in their own emotional qualities, the 10 of Cups. I don't quite know what that is, but it seems like your connection kind of helped each other. You see what I'm saying? It pulled you out of a nothing's going on, and I'm bored, and I'm restless, and they're kind of like, I have my own stuff going on and it's difficult and I'm trying to work through it. And you put those two energies together and I see you two creating a healing, fun, cooperative space with each other. But you're both showing me reconnection. So you knew each other at some point in the past prior to this. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I know. I hope it makes sense. I hope it makes sense. I hope it makes sense. Dear God, I hope that makes sense, because it makes sense through my eyes as I'm seeing it. It's lens pulling back through a lens. It's hard to explain. Yeah. For some of you, this represents an option on love of the past that, for whatever reason, didn't take root. It just didn't happen. It just didn't work out that way. And you fast forward and then you reconnected and you had your thing, they had their thing, and you two are meeting together and you are alleviating each other's emotional stress. Okay? You had your version, they had their version. Got it. Okay, that's for some of you. Show me this moon. Let's fast forward. I say that. I have no idea where we are now. Oh boy, this is a very rich timeline. Very rich timeline. When you see past in the past, oh my goodness, it's hard to separate one from the other. Show me the moon, please. Show me that moon. Show me that moon, please. Show me the moon. Show me the moon. So, they are distinctly marked with having high energy, healing properties, but they themselves had an emotional richness that was very disturbed, like it was frustrating. They were going through some stuff when they reconnected with you. And you, I got you going through the motions, but not necessarily thrilled. And it's looking like you two rebonded. And it felt good. It felt good to you both. You helped each other out in some way by reconnecting. Seven of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, Eight of Cups. It's interesting. Seven of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, Eight of Cups. With the Moon. It's tricky. It's tricky. Someone has not come to terms with the fact. Someone has not come to keep dodging this like a bullet, and it's a strong bullet too. Someone has not come to terms with the fact that they are not emotionally available, but they're not being honest with themselves about it. That's the thing. It's one thing when you're emotionally unavailable and you know that. You know it. You know it. Like, you know it. You know you're not emotionally available. And it's another thing to lie to yourself about it. It's kind of like saying, I'm here for this situation. I am. I'm here for this situation. I'm showing up for it. I'm just as much as on board with it as you are. Eight of Pentacles suggests like for like. Stone for stone. Pentacle for pentacle. Contribution for contribution. And they're not. Somebody here isn't. Somebody here distinctly lies to themselves about being present and available and giving to the situation when they're not. They've told themselves, I'll get to this situation. I give myself honestly to this situation. It's no crime. It's not a crime to say you're not emotionally available. In fact, a lot of people would be better off if they said that up front. But it's not even that. It's kind of like the insight to admit it to oneself. That's what I'm really trying to articulate. This is very nuanced. Very nuanced. The insight to be able to say, I'm showing up for this, but I'm not actually. It's missing. I don't know why somebody just can't say to themselves, I'm not actually here when I say I'm here, and I'm not actually giving to this when I say I'm giving to this. I don't know why we can't admit it to ourselves. Somebody here can't admit it to themselves. It's kind of an interesting form of denial that I'm giving to this and I'm present for it, but actually I'm not. Why? Why do we want to maintain the illusion that we're contributing to this? Like, I'm in it. I'm in it. I'm in it. It's different. It's different. I don't know why somebody here's keeping that lie to themselves, and it's not an outward lie. It's one of those lies that we want to believe is true, but we don't really confront ourselves on it. We just kind of have it running in the background, and we operate that it's truth when it's not. So that's why that makes the moon so tricky. It's the illusion of activity. It's the illusion of feeling, but without really understanding the truth of it, because we don't want to shine too much light on it, right? Then it would be the sun. There would be no question, because we could see it clearly. So in the moon we have murky feelings, a sense of intuition, but it all gets convoluted and confusing because we don't really want to address anything. So that's why we call it going down Moon Avenue. It's not the easiest thing to walk down or understand, because that means getting confrontational with ourselves about the things we're saying and not saying and doing and not doing and why we're doing any of it at all. It gets confusing. So you throw in some Seven of Swords in there. We really don't want to look at it. Eight of Pentacles. Okay. I'm giving to this. Eight of Cups. But emotionally, I'm not here. Seven of Swords, I don't really want to talk about it, though. I don't really think about it. Shove all that shit into the moon. It's too confusing. It's too confusing. I'm giving something to this. I'm not going to define to what degree. So I'm going to tell myself I'm contributing to this and that all of me's in it. It's not true, but yeah, all of me's in it. You see what I'm saying? The authentic me's in here. Somebody's authentic me is missing in this dynamic. So I don't know how much time has passed. I just know that somebody's authentic self, particularly their emotions, are not showing up even when they put in some sort of constructive work into whatever this construction is, and for some reason they can't admit it or own it, and I don't know why. Because that would mean you're putting work into it at all. I see. Because that would mean you're putting work into it at all. Somebody is. If somebody admitted to themselves that they were emotionally invested in this, they'd have to admit that they're putting work into this at all. It's kind of like saying, I'm putting work into this. No, I'm not. I can't take credit for it. Because then I'd have to admit that I'm putting work into this. That I want to. Whoa. That's a big whoa. Wow. Subconscious motivation, eh? That's intense shit, man. Don't say that lightly. Find ourselves putting work into something and acting like we're not. Because then we'd have to claim it, right? We'd have to admit that we had feelings for it. Wow. It's like showing up to work but not actually claiming that you should get paid or that you put any work into any of that at all. No, I didn't. I didn't put anything into that. Here's some stuff, here's some stuff, here's some stuff. No, I didn't. I didn't put any work into that. So I'm saying the authentic self isn't claiming this. Somebody's showing up, putting something into this, and then they don't claim it. Are we trying to believe we're not emotionally attached to this? That's why it's so confusing and convoluted, honey, between the illusions and the white lies we're telling ourselves here with the Seven of Swords. Well, if I admit that I was showing up, putting constructive effort into whatever this is, I might have to own the fact that I have feelings for it. Can't have that. No. See what I'm saying? Anyway, I've got to press on. Fascinating. I'm just saying. Right there. That's a lot of denial, man. It's a lot of denial. Yeah. It's like showing up to the construction site, putting in some work and being like, I didn't do that. I didn't construct that building. I have no emotional attachment to that building, because if I did, it means I'd have to have worked on it, and I didn't work on it. See what I'm saying? Somebody showing up to this connection with a tool belt, putting pentacles into it, and they're like, I have no stake in that. I have no stake in that finished product. I'm not contributing to it. The fact that I showed up with a tool belt is irrelevant. But no, I didn't build that wall. I didn't put in the basement. I didn't do any of that. No, I have no emotional stake in how that finishes. Okay, I think I'm not laughing at it. It's just the complexity of it is such. Somebody really goes out of their way to lie to themselves about their effort, how much effort, the quality of that effort, and the proposed emotionality attached to said effort by saying there isn't any. But every now and again I show up, clock in, put some work into it, and then I back out real quick, and I don't claim any of it. There's a reason why when an artist creates a piece of art, painting, okay, whatever, they put their name on it. It's their legacy. They want people to know. It's like you're trying to create something here without putting your signature on it. It's interesting. Fascinating. This is absolutely fascinating. Eight of Wands. Center of the reading. Eight of Wands. Show me that Eight of Wands, please. Strength. The Lovers. Everybody's showing me lovers. Everybody and their mother and their mother's lover is showing me the lovers. Everybody, their mother and their lovers is showing me the lovers. Ay. No. No, it's just it's the intensity of everything that's coming up in Leo season. I can't say I'm surprised. Venus has slid her way into the sign of Leo, so people are feeling their connections. It doesn't matter if they were 5 years old, 10 years old, and in which case you have a layer upon layer of past with this person. Fascinating. I mean, it's not that I don't get it. I've had something like this myself, so I get that. But still, it's the way you're showing it to me in the cards. And everybody is. So anyway, I'm sorry. 8 of Wands. We have Strength, the Lovers, the Wheel of Fortune. How to communicate with this. The strength to communicate with this. Should I communicate with this? Is it? I don't know. Let's slide on over to Death there real quick again. Oh my goodness. Oh God. Wow. Aries, honey, show me Death, please. Show me Death. Show me Death. Show me Death. Show me Death, please. Show me Death. Show me Death. Show me Death, please. Let me slide on over here before I get back to the center of that reading, and that's a magnificent center, I might point out. Oh boy, nothing easy for you today, honey. 2 of Pentacles, Temperance, 8 of Wands. They want to talk to you too. Okay, they want to talk to you too. They want to talk to you too. Okay, I suspected it there, right? I mean, you had 3 majors over communication. Okay. What did you think I was going to say? But I needed to clarify Death, too. It's kind of like, is that happening or not happening? Exactly. Hi. How are you? Are you okay? Are we good? You need a breather? Need a coffee? Need a snack? They do want to talk to you. They do. You're both showing me 8 of Wands over complex subjects. Now, with Death there, from your point of view, it might have been non-negotiable. On the contrary, they actually showing a healing energy and communication with you. With 2 of Pentacles, they say they don't know how. What does that mean? They wouldn't know where to start, or it's kind of like, I don't know how to talk to you about this. I tried. And they seem it's like the conversation seems to be a dead end or a road to nowhere. But here's the thing. Their spiritual energy towards you suggests that they would still try. The desire between you two has to be such to heal that you have to be able and willing, the both of you, to break barriers, whatever those are. Okay. Your overview is quite powerful. It's quite magnificent. It's a sharp truth that with the energetic level attached to it is such that says it's taking you a long time to process it and get there, and that you are going to continue to process for some time. Okay? They're showing me that they would be willing to transform their words towards you. Okay? Whatever proposed ending there was in communication between you two, or action, most likely both. Okay? They said that they would be willing to transform it with you, to heal it, in other words, but they don't know where to begin. There is something in here about the lack of understanding. And it starts right back here in this confusing mess. Okay, I cannot go over an hour. I made that objective and I'm sticking to it. I'll explain that on the mid-month check-in. There is an actual reason behind it, but I do need to stick to it. But oh my goodness, I would love to make this a 90-minute. There's something in here about the lack of understanding that is critical to moving a proposed, and I say proposed because we all have free will, between energetic connectivity, emotional connectivity, agenda, insight, misunderstanding, illusions, and confusion. 2 people or 1 person can opt to do nothing, and then therefore we get nothing. Okay? It's that simple. It really is that simple, guys. You choose to do nothing. you get nothing. It is the simplest form of manifestation. You want nothing, you get nothing. And if you're not willing to do anything for what it is you want, then you still get nothing. I got two people here who want to talk to each other. Very much so. You, at the heart of this reading, are showing me strength. Wheel of Fortune. And communication. It's kind of like, I want them to talk to me. Okay? You want them to come back to you. They're saying, I would love to work things out with you, but I don't know where it starts. And that's because from their estimation or their energetic point of view, they're saying they're missing some information here. And that's because somebody here is correct. Somebody's missing information. Do you want to know where I saw that? Right here. There is a lot of confusion about what this structure, the person who shows up to the job site with this person, who brings their tools and then acts like they didn't bring their tools. This means I want to work on something with you, but I can't admit it, or I don't know how, or I don't know what the goal is between us, but I want to construct something. I do want to put my signature on it, but then I'd have to claim it. That means I'd have to admit to myself that I was building something with you at all. And they're showing me Two of Pentacles. I would love to heal with you, but I don't know what you're trying to do. Now I'm saying that to you because it is your reading, and I see you at the dead center of it all, commanding a great deal of energetic motion by at least willing them come back to you. And they're saying, I would love to talk to you. I would, but I'm too confused about what the hell's going on with you. Or it's the other way around. Who the hell knows? Okay? People get so offended. It takes next to nothing to offend someone. But I'm still here. And the reading is still the reading. Okay? So take what resonates, leave what does not, reverse it as it applies. Now, the person who is coming up to this job site, this connection between you two, this lover's connection, okay? Where by all rights, there is currently no communication, interaction towards each other. And yet you two are on standby, like this. Let me put it this way, if one of you dropped something that was meaningful in terms of communication, call, text, email, just one of you. I mean, not, hey, what's up? Or you up? What's up, winky face? No. Something a little more substance than that. I know the other person would respond. You want them to come towards you, and they're the ones who are saying, I would love to heal shit and work things out with you and transform it. Unfortunately, I don't know what the hell's going on. And that confusion stems from here. And it comes down to that person who was showing up to the job site with tools and then acting like they weren't. It's not... I admit that's a mess. Seven of Swords with the Moon. The person who is most skilled at denying this relationship construct is the one who needs to embrace it more, and then that communication would rip. It would rip. Okay, I admit I was showing up and building something with you. I was. And I would just say start there. Whoever can do that, whoever has the balls, the gumption, to say I was showing up, building something with you and acting like I wasn't, that's the one who can solve all the problems like that. It's extraordinarily specific. It's extraordinarily specific. That is some solid ass advice. I have to say, that is some solid ass advice from the cards from the universe. It's like, do you know how close you are to fixing this? But to the person who's locked into that Seven of Swords and the Moon, like, I'm building something with you, but I act like I don't, like it doesn't mean anything to me. Try telling that to someone who is that deeply ingrained in denial. So on the surface, it looks so easy. It's going to be the hardest for that person to overcome that need to lie. That need to lie in themselves. I wasn't building anything with you. I didn't put any of myself into that. That's going to be that person's biggest challenge, and that's literally what's separating you and someone else from fixing things. This person's like, I would love to transform. Okay, I know we're currently not talking and not doing anything towards each other. I would love to fix that with you. You confuse me. I don't know what the objective is. Somebody there, I don't know what to do. This person's saying, I don't know what to do. Other than that, you two are like a thread away, an email away, a wall away from actively healing. And I know, honey, you want to pull them back and rotate them back towards you. But it's like, if this is indeed you, what's the point of pulling them back into your life to go back to constructing something that you say you're not constructing, or that you're not involved in, or that doesn't affect you? More to the point, that's a lack of emotional acceptance. You know, so what would be the point? It would have to be the person who's showing up to the job site with a tool belt and acknowledges that they're going to the job site with a tool belt. In order to fix something, you have to know that you got tools. You have the tools. Right? And that's something else. That person, again, it doesn't have to be you, but it would be that person. Somebody has to acknowledge that they have the tools to fix this. But that would imply that you were working on something to begin with, right? The universe does have a way of pointing out to us our foibles. Okay, speaking of which, we got to keep it cracking. That is imperative. Judgment, 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 judgment. Shit, this is a good one. This is definitely one of those 90-minute classic sassy Scorpion tarot readings where I could take this out for a 90-minute test drive, I swear. It's great. I just know that you two, for one reason or another, you and them distinctly, the both of you provided each other comfort at a time when you both needed it. Whatever, how you knew each other prior to that, because you have a history even before that, reconnecting. You met originally at another point in your timeline, and you both reconnected at a time in your lives when you needed each other. You helped each other emotionally in some way, the both of you. They were going through some shit. You were going through some boredom and lethargy and detachment. And you both helped each other out of those things. You both got each other feeling things. You helped heal each other. Even if it was in the smallest of ways, as that Three of Cups. I just know you wanted more of it because it felt good. It felt right. And I don't know if you two will ever be a full lovers pair. I don't know. I really don't know. But you two fit in your own ways. Very much so. And like I said, you two are an email, a text, a phone call away from reconnecting. It just takes that one person to recognize that they're not just showing up to a job site for no reason. A friendship for no reason, a relationship for no reason, that they indeed have the tools and that they've been working on this job site for a long time, but without taking credit for it or acting like they were involved. That means that same person has the same tools to fix it. It's your call. It's your call. It's your truth. It's your truth. It's written all over this. Judgment twice is the swords twice. It's your call. It would require just the smallest opening of heart spaces, I believe, to correct this. Whatever this relationship is. It's judgment. Page of Cups isn't much. It's more than I think about you. It's more than I care about you. This is me being vulnerable. And it doesn't mean you have to go cutting open your heart and bleeding all over the place. It's just this is me being vulnerable. And it's a hell of a turnaround from the Seven of Swords to the Moon. So yeah, if this person has appreciation for the emotional subtleties, I think that they do. All right, let's see the Six of Swords. What's up with this? But it's your choice. You may not. You might move on from that. We shall see. You're turning towards judgment. Oh, Aries, honey, good job. You're turning towards judgment 3 times. Lesson, lesson, lesson. You're like, fine, fine, fine. I'll get off your ass about it. I'm not trying to be on your ass. I just want what's best for you. And your soul knows what's best for you. I'm sorry, but it does. You can tell yourself what you need to tell yourself, but that doesn't mean it fits your soul. This is what fits your soul. This is what fits your soul. This is what fits your soul. The judgment 3 times for you. At some point in your timeline in future, you will have made up your mind. I think when judgment said it's your call, they weren't kidding. It was your call. It's your call, you know? And that's if you're the one who's shown up to the job site with a tool belt acting like you ain't. Like you didn't construct something with this person. Like you didn't have any emotional attachment to this. Don't you want to claim your work? You know? Don't you want to claim your work? Even if you two are limited for some reason or another that's just not here today, that I'm not saying it. Even if it's just committed to friendship. Even if it's truly committed to friendship, you can still be vulnerable in it. You can still express feeling in it. But you sign off the signature of that particular painting as a true solid friend. You know? And then, who knows? Time will tell. Okay? Time will tell. The Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Cups. You've put some level of work into this that speaks to your soul, honey, and it's all over this. It feels very right to you, and it's a very strong bonded connection. And I know it probably doesn't make sense on the surface, but it does where it counts, and in your spiritual higher self too. Three of Wands. Okay. Yeah, that's not thrilling. 3 of Wands, 2 of Swords, 8 of Cups, the Knight of Cups. But slowly but surely you're starting to disentangle that confusion about what your feelings are. They were always there, but try telling that to someone who kind of always said, no, they're not, you know. And it's going to take a minute to warm up to that sense of vulnerability and the expression of your feelings specifically, but you are working through it, okay? You are working through it. Okay, you are trying to make yourself less unaware of your feelings and more acute to them, more in tune with them. And you are looking at yourself. All right, I know, like I said, it's not going to be leaps and bounds. And I am saying this is you, but of course, reverse energies as it applies. I've only seen them, or whoever this energy says, distinctly twice. I don't know what you two, what you were when you first met. What I saw in the underlying suggested option in love, but it didn't pan out for one reason or another. Okay, fine. We reconnected at a time in both of your timelines when you both needed each other. There's a reason for that. That wasn't a coincidence. And you loved it. It made you feel good. It made them feel good. You healed through your 3 of Cups reconnection, and you did it multiple times. Multiple times. Like I said, you both went through some shit. But when you realized how much I think you were constructing, there's something in there that you started to speak to you that said, no, I'm not constructing anything with this person. I'm fine. And it looked like communication is dead, but it's not. Like I said, it will take almost next to nothing to reconnect this thing. But it will take real accountability in terms of, yes, I was building this with you. And these were also, P.S., my feelings in the process of building this with you. And this is what I experienced. Is that enough for you and me to be cool? Otherwise, they're all for it. You get to make that choice. It's here several times over. And when you lean into that choice, I see you feeling really good. This is obviously not for somebody who you have a bad opinion of, or who treated you poorly, or was abusive. This is not what I'm describing. I'm describing well, what I've described very well, I think, up until this point and as best as I could. You are learning to open up. You have a natural inclination to withdraw your feelings, okay, because it makes you uncomfortable. You are trying to fight that instinct, at least when it comes to this person. And it still confuses you, but you are learning to hone in on it better. Instead of just shutting it down, starting to speak more from your heart, which is good. Okay. But yeah, however this shapes between you two, I don't know. It could be that you two just agree to be really good friends, but with the understanding that you have a strong emotional premise. And then what happens after that, I could not say. But you can start there because it feels right. And I don't know when this is hitting you so hard. This is what I'm actually most curious about because it's such a strong spiritual lesson. And I think it has to go to this. About our effort and what something means to us, etc. Oh. And by all rights, it looks like it's happening now. Possibly started back in Taurus season. Yeah. So in terms of the connectivity, or it feels like it's not anytime soon, but things will happen as they are meant to. I don't think we're done learning this. In other words, let it happen. Next month. For some of you, yes, next month. In terms of having made up your mind. And for others of you, within a couple of weeks to a month. But as like I said, I think some of you, this lesson progressively started a couple months ago. And is hitting stride or hitting height now. Okay? In terms of resolution, that judgment being on under your call, your decision several times, weeks to months. Okay? About resolution and what you're going to say or do. Or it's them, could be reversed, but I see them being like, I would love to heal things with you, Aries. I have the tools for it, I just don't know what you want. Something like that. Okay, I do hope this helped. It was absolutely fascinating. I mean, absolutely fascinating. This is not easy, but it is wondrous in its own way. You know, it is absolutely wondrous in its own way. And when it hits, it's going to hit hard, as these things do. But it's a divine truth, and one we can't argue with, and if you try to, it just hurts. So allow it to flow through you and pass through you, so it can do what it needs to do, okay? All right, I'll see you in approximately 2 weeks for your next reading. I do hope this helped. Just remember that if you were able, the both of you, to come together under reconnection for healing purposes with each other once, but this time it's more intimate between you two and not just each other's individual circumstances. You had yours, they had yours. Then you two could do it again. Okay? It's just this time it's for each other as opposed to your different reasons. You have a common reason now, and that is each other. Okay? Oh my, it's fascinating. All right. Take care. Be well.